There's a certain charm that older men possess, something that isn't easily taught or copied. It's not about flashy cars, expensive watches, or fancy suits. It's about presence, confidence, and understanding. Younger women are naturally drawn to this energy, a mix of maturity, assurance, and subtle power that feels completely magnetic. And trust me, it's not about trying too hard. It's about knowing exactly what works and how to hold yourself with quiet confidence. One of the first things that make older men irresistible is their calm demeanor. In a world full of impulsive decisions and emotional highs and lows, a man who stays grounded, composed, and in control is like a breath of fresh air. He doesn't panic, overreact, or chase validation. This stability communicates security, a trait that draws younger women in without them even realizing it. It's fascinating how this kind of presence can make someone feel safe and at the same time intrigued, creating a pull that's hard to resist. Then there's the power of experience. Older men have lived through more, learned lessons that younger men haven't even faced yet, and developed perspectives that come from real understanding. This kind of wisdom isn't arrogant, it's captivating. When they speak, it's with intention, with a sense of knowing that comes from truly seeing the world. Younger women notice it. They sense the difference between someone who reacts impulsively and someone who acts thoughtfully, someone who can guide, tease, and challenge at the right moments. That subtle intellectual dominance, mixed with charm, can be intoxicating. Confidence plays a massive role as well. But I'm talking about the quiet, unshakable confidence that doesn't need to be shouted from rooftops. It's in the way older men carry themselves, the way they make decisions, and the way they can make a room feel warmer simply by being in it. Confidence like this doesn't come from ego. It comes from self-awareness, self-respect, and knowing what you want and how to achieve it. Younger women are drawn to men who embody this kind of strength because it makes them feel desired, understood, and safe all at once. It's also about understanding boundaries and respect. Older men know the balance between attention and space. They know how to listen, how to make someone feel valued, and how to tease just enough to keep things exciting. They don't rush or pressure. They create an aura of curiosity, making every interaction feel like an adventure. Subtle gestures, thoughtful words, and a confident smile can create an undeniable chemistry that lingers long after a conversation ends. And finally, there's the allure of mystery. Older men don't need to reveal everything about themselves immediately. They know the art of pacing, of creating intrigue, and letting desire build naturally. This isn't manipulation. It's simply a refined understanding of human attraction. Younger women feel challenged, intrigued, and captivated, wanting to uncover the layers that make the man in front of them so magnetic. There's something incredibly magnetic about a man who remains calm, collected, and emotionally grounded, no matter what's happening around him. This isn't just about suppressing anger or pretending to be unaffected. It's about genuinely possessing an inner stability that radiates from every movement, word, and gesture. Women, especially younger ones, are naturally drawn to this quality because it creates an environment where they feel secure, valued, and understood. In a world where emotions are often volatile and reactions unpredictable, a man who carries himself with calmness stands out effortlessly. It's a signal of strength, not arrogance, of control, not rigidity. Emotional stability signals maturity, and maturity is one of the most attractive qualities a man can have. A calm demeanor allows a man to handle situations with clarity and composure. He doesn't react impulsively when faced with challenges or unexpected events. Instead, he assesses, processes, and responds in a way that reflects both intelligence and patience. Younger women, who may be navigating a mix of emotions, aspirations, and life experiences, are drawn to men who can provide balance in a chaotic world. There's something deeply reassuring about being around someone who doesn't overreact or create unnecessary drama. This kind of presence allows interactions to feel effortless, natural, and safe, fostering a sense of trust that is both subtle and profound. Emotional stability goes hand in hand with self-control. A man who is emotionally stable doesn't let external factors dictate his mood or his reactions. He understands that emotions are powerful, but they are not always reliable guides for action. Instead, he learns to manage them, channeling energy into thoughtful responses rather than impulsive outbursts. This creates a powerful dynamic in relationships because younger women sense that they are interacting with someone who is reliable, consistent, and resilient. It's a quality that feels rare in a fast-paced world, making it stand out immediately. When someone can remain calm in the face of tension, uncertainty, or conflict, it communicates strength in a way that words alone cannot. A calm man also communicates confidence without ever needing to prove it. Emotional stability isn't about suppressing vulnerability, it's about mastering it. When a man can stay composed even in emotionally charged situations, it shows that he understands himself and his boundaries. This self-awareness naturally attracts younger women because it signals emotional intelligence, a trait that creates deep, meaningful connections. The ability to manage one's own emotions while remaining sensitive to the feelings of others demonstrates a kind of inner strength that is both rare and magnetic. Younger women often look for partners who can offer guidance, support, and reassurance. And a calm demeanor achieves all of this effortlessly. The impact of calmness extends beyond individual interactions. It shapes the atmosphere of every environment the man inhabits. When a man carries himself with emotional stability, he naturally diffuses tension around him. Conversations feel smoother, disagreements are handled with tact, and moments of stress become manageable. Younger women are drawn to men who can create this kind of emotional space, where they can relax, express themselves freely, and feel emotionally safe. The calm man becomes a grounding force, a presence that balances intensity with ease. This makes him not only attractive, but also memorable, because people remember how they felt around him more than the exact words he said. Another layer of this quality is patience. Calmness isn't just about controlling visible reactions, it's about giving situations the time and space they need to develop naturally. A man who remains patient under pressure demonstrates foresight and restraint. He doesn't rush decisions, push outcomes, or force emotional responses. Younger women sense this patience as a form of respect, which builds trust and admiration. It signals that he values them, their thoughts, and the natural flow of interactions. Emotional stability in this sense is intertwined with respect and consideration, creating a magnetic pull that is impossible to ignore. Calm demeanor also influences attraction because it contrasts sharply with impulsive behavior. In younger social circles, drama, volatility, and emotional swings are often normalized. A man who rises above this by remaining composed naturally becomes intriguing. His calmness is not passive, it's active control over his reactions, demonstrating mastery over himself. This difference is immediately noticeable, and it sets him apart from others who may react hastily or let emotions dictate their behavior. Younger women are subconsciously drawn to this because it feels like a safe haven amidst the chaos, a rare form of assurance that someone has their emotional landscape under control. Moreover, a calm man tends to exude quiet confidence. He doesn't need loud gestures, flashy displays, or constant validation to prove his worth. His composure is proof enough. Emotional stability communicates that he has faced challenges before, handled them gracefully, and emerged with wisdom rather than bitterness. This kind of resilience is inherently attractive because it promises consistency and reliability. Younger women often appreciate partners who provide a sense of stability without feeling controlling, and a calm demeanor achieves exactly that. It's not about dominating conversations or situations. It's about holding a presence that feels secure, strong, and reassuring. Lastly, the power of calmness lies in its subtlety. It doesn't scream for attention or demand admiration. It simply exists, quietly commanding respect. Emotional stability allows a man to listen actively, respond thoughtfully, and create meaningful connections without resorting to dramatics. Younger women recognize this subtle mastery immediately. It makes interactions smoother, intimacy deeper, and attraction more enduring. The calm man becomes someone whose presence is addictive, not because he tries to be, but because emotional stability is magnetic by nature. It draws people in, creates comfort, and leaves a lasting impression that is both powerful and effortless. There's a unique allure in a man who carries life experience and wisdom with him. It's not something you can fake, imitate, or buy. It's a quality that develops over time through challenges, successes, failures, and moments of reflection. Younger women are naturally drawn to men who possess this kind of depth because it communicates understanding, perspective, and a sense of security. Life experience is more than just age. It's the stories, lessons, and subtle knowledge that make a man intriguing without him even trying. It's about the way he approaches life, the way he navigates challenges, and the way he understands people and situations in a way that feels effortless, magnetic, and captivating. Wisdom allows a man to respond to situations with clarity rather than impulsiveness. He has learned what matters, what doesn't, and how to prioritize emotions, actions, and energy. Younger women notice this immediately because it signals emotional intelligence, maturity, and stability. Conversations with a man who has experience aren't shallow. They are layered with insights, reflections, and subtle guidance. This depth of understanding makes interactions feel richer, more meaningful, and more satisfying. Women sense that they are speaking with someone who sees beyond the surface, someone who understands the subtleties of life and relationships, and this naturally creates attraction and curiosity. Life experience also translates into confidence that doesn't need validation. A man who has seen the ups and downs of life carries himself differently. He doesn't panic at setbacks, he doesn't seek constant approval, and he doesn't overreact to minor challenges. This quiet confidence is irresistible because it feels authentic. Younger women are drawn to men who know who they are, what they want, and how to navigate life without unnecessary drama. The knowledge that a man can handle complex situations calmly and effectively builds trust and admiration, making him someone who is not only attractive but also inspiring. Another aspect of wisdom is the ability to communicate with purpose. Experienced men don't waste words. They speak with intention, knowing that their tone, choice of words, and timing all matter. This makes conversations more engaging, stimulating, and memorable. Younger women find this intriguing because it shows that he has thought about life, relationships, and human behavior in ways that most people haven't. His stories are not just anecdotes. They carry lessons, humor, and insight that spark curiosity and admiration. This kind of communication creates a subtle yet powerful connection that feels rare, exciting, and magnetic. Experience also teaches patience, which is incredibly attractive. A man who has lived through challenges knows the value of waiting, observing, and understanding before acting. He doesn't rush decisions or force outcomes. He lets situations develop naturally, guiding interactions with subtlety and care. This patience communicates respect, intelligence, and emotional stability. Younger women appreciate this because it signals that he values their thoughts, feelings, and timing, making them feel understood, respected, and cherished. Patience combined with wisdom creates a magnetic presence that draws people in without effort, leaving a lasting impression that goes beyond physical attraction. Life experience also gives a man the ability to navigate relationships with nuance. He understands human behavior, emotions, and motivations in a way that younger men often do not. He can recognize patterns, anticipate reactions, and respond thoughtfully, creating chemistry that feels effortless yet intentional. Younger women are drawn to this subtle mastery because it feels like a mix of security and excitement. They are intrigued by the way he understands them, the way he communicates without over-explaining, and the way he makes them feel seen and appreciated. It's not about control, it's about a refined understanding of connection that only comes from experience and reflection. Another layer of intrigue comes from the stories that life experience brings. Every challenge overcome, every lesson learned, every moment of growth adds depth to a man's character. Younger women are naturally curious about these layers, wanting to uncover the experiences that shaped him. The way he speaks about life, without arrogance, without needing to impress, creates a magnetic pull that is both subtle and irresistible. It's not the stories themselves that attract, it's the wisdom woven into them, the perspective, humor, and insight that make him feel fascinating and approachable at the same time. Wisdom also influences decision-making, and this is deeply attractive. Experienced men make choices based on insight rather than impulse. They weigh options, consider consequences, and act with intention. This careful, thoughtful approach is intriguing because it communicates control, responsibility, and self-awareness. Younger women sense that being around such a man provides both excitement and stability. He can handle unpredictability without losing composure, and he can create experiences that are meaningful and memorable. This balance of adventure and reliability is magnetic, creating a pull that is difficult to resist. Life experience also allows for empathy, a trait that adds to the magnetic appeal. A man who has lived through challenges can understand the struggles, fears, and dreams of others. He can listen without judgment, advise without imposing, and support without controlling. Younger women find this deeply attractive because it creates a safe space where they feel understood and appreciated. Empathy combined with wisdom makes interactions more meaningful, intimacy more profound, and attraction more lasting. It's a subtle power that doesn't demand attention, but commands respect naturally. Lastly, the combination of experience and wisdom creates a sense of mystery. A man who has lived fully doesn't need to reveal everything at once. He can share selectively, creating curiosity and intrigue. Younger women are drawn to this subtle allure because it challenges them, excites them, and keeps them engaged. Every conversation, every glance, every story becomes a window into a deeper world that is both fascinating and inspiring. The magnetic pull of life experience and wisdom is not loud or showy. It's quiet, confident, and impossible to ignore. There's a magnetic energy that surrounds a man who possesses quiet, unshakable confidence. It's not about loud gestures, constant validation, or overt displays of ego. It's about a deep, grounded assurance that comes from knowing who he is, what he wants, and how to navigate life without needing permission. Younger women are instinctively drawn to this energy because it communicates stability, power, and charisma without ever trying to prove itself. Confidence like this doesn't demand attention. It commands it naturally, effortlessly, and subtly, creating a sense of fascination that is impossible to ignore. Quiet confidence stems from self-awareness. A man who is truly confident understands his strengths and weaknesses, and he doesn't feel the need to hide or exaggerate either. He is comfortable in his skin, secure in his abilities, and unapologetic about his choices. This self-assurance radiates in the way he carries himself, the way he speaks, and even the way he listens. Younger women notice this immediately because it feels authentic. Unlike bravado or superficial charm, quiet confidence is grounded in reality, in experience, and in a genuine understanding of oneself. It is magnetic because it signals maturity and emotional intelligence, two qualities that are deeply attractive. The unshakable part of confidence comes from resilience. A confident man has faced challenges, learned from failures, and emerged stronger without bitterness. He doesn't crumble under pressure or seek constant reassurance. Instead, he trusts in his ability to handle situations and make decisions with clarity. Younger women are drawn to this stability because it creates a sense of security and admiration simultaneously. They are intrigued by the calmness with which he navigates life, the way he handles uncertainty, and the way he maintains composure, even when things don't go as planned. This resilience communicates strength without arrogance, reliability without rigidity, and it creates a natural pull that is hard to resist. Quiet confidence also influences communication. A confident man doesn't feel the need to dominate conversations, interrupt, or force his opinions. He speaks with intention, listens actively, and responds thoughtfully. Every word, gesture, and pause carries weight because it comes from a place of self-assuredness rather than insecurity. Younger women are captivated by this style of interaction because it makes them feel seen, heard, and valued. The subtlety of his confidence creates intrigue. He doesn't reveal everything at once, leaving space for curiosity, fascination, and connection to grow naturally over time. Another aspect of unshakable confidence is the ability to set boundaries without guilt. A confident man knows what he will accept, what he won't tolerate, and how to maintain respect for himself and others. This isn't about being controlling or distant. It's about understanding the importance of mutual respect and healthy limits. Younger women sense this strength immediately, finding it attractive because it signals that he values himself and the relationship in equal measure. It's a form of magnetic power that doesn't demand attention or submission, but naturally draws admiration and trust. Confidence also manifests in the way a man handles his emotions. He is not reactive, nor does he let insecurities dictate his behavior. Instead, he approaches situations with calm, thoughtfulness, and a sense of control. Younger women find this immensely attractive because it creates emotional stability and reliability, qualities that are rare and highly valued. The quiet confidence in his demeanor communicates that he can be counted on to handle challenges without unnecessary drama. And this makes every interaction feel safe, exciting, and meaningful at the same time. Physical presence is subtly influenced by confidence as well. A confident man doesn't need exaggerated gestures or postures. His energy, posture, and gaze alone communicate assurance. The way he enters a room, carries himself, and engages with others exudes calm authority and magnetism. Younger women are drawn to this presence because it signals strength without aggression, charm without pretense, and power without intimidation. This effortless aura of control and self-possession is deeply compelling and creates a lasting impression in every social setting. The allure of quiet confidence also lies in its patience. A man who is self-assured doesn't rush outcomes, chase validation, or force connections. He allows situations to unfold naturally, trusting his intuition and timing. Younger women are captivated by this approach because it creates a sense of intrigue and anticipation. They sense that he values quality over quantity, depth over superficiality, and authenticity over pretense. This patient, grounded confidence makes him not only attractive, but unforgettable. Confidence is also reflected in decision-making. A confident man trusts his judgment and acts decisively even in uncertainty. He doesn't hesitate out of fear or self-doubt, nor does he overcomplicate simple choices. This decisiveness is appealing because it demonstrates clarity, control, and maturity. Younger women find themselves drawn to this energy, feeling both inspired and reassured by the man who knows his direction and moves toward it with certainty. The combination of quiet assurance and thoughtful action is magnetic because it promises both stability and excitement. The subtleties of confidence extend to social interactions as well. A quiet, self-assured man doesn't need to compete for attention or approval. His presence alone is compelling. He listens without judgment, speaks without arrogance, and engages without forcing connection. Younger women are naturally intrigued by this balance, finding it attractive because it feels rare, genuine, and effortless. Confidence like this creates curiosity, admiration, and desire simultaneously, all without ever needing to draw attention to itself. Finally, the irresistible nature of quiet, unshakable confidence comes from its authenticity. It is not performative or conditional. It is an inherent part of who he is. Younger women are drawn to this because they can sense the difference between real assurance and superficial bravado. This confidence creates a magnetic aura, a presence that feels safe, exciting, and captivating all at once. It is not loud or flashy. It is steady, subtle, and powerful, and it leaves a lasting impression on anyone fortunate enough to experience it firsthand. There is a profound attraction in a man who offers respectful attention, someone who doesn't just hear, but truly listens and observes, understanding both the words and the emotions behind them. This is a rare quality, one that younger women are naturally drawn to because it creates an environment of trust, comfort, and genuine connection. Respectful attention is not about flattering or exaggerating interest. It's about being fully present in every interaction, noticing the subtle nuances of mood, expression, and intention. When a man gives this kind of attention, it communicates care, emotional intelligence, and a deep understanding of human dynamics, qualities that are magnetic in their subtlety and power. Understanding boundaries is a natural extension of respectful attention. A man who recognizes and honors limits does not overstep, pressure, or force situations to unfold according to his own desires. Instead, he navigates interactions with sensitivity, awareness, and discretion, creating a space where younger women feel safe to express themselves freely. This understanding is incredibly attractive because it signals maturity and respect, showing that he values the other person as an individual rather than as an object of pursuit. Women sense this awareness instinctively, and it builds a foundation of trust and admiration that is both deep and compelling. Respectful attention is expressed in countless subtle ways. It's in the way a man maintains eye contact without staring, listening without interrupting, and responding thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively. It's in the way he remembers details that others might overlook, noticing what makes a woman laugh, what sparks her curiosity, and what brings her joy. These small acts communicate that he is present, observant, and invested in the interaction. And this attentiveness naturally draws younger women closer. They feel seen, appreciated, and valued in a way that feels authentic and rare. Understanding boundaries goes beyond just physical space. It includes emotional, mental, and conversational limits. A man who respects boundaries does not push for personal information, rush emotional intimacy, or impose his views. Instead, he allows trust to develop naturally, giving time and space for connections to grow organically. Younger women are drawn to this approach because it communicates patience, self-control, and emotional maturity. It creates an environment where they can be themselves without fear of judgment or manipulation, and this freedom of expression fosters a deeper, more meaningful bond. The combination of respectful attention and boundary awareness also enhances communication. A man who listens actively and responds thoughtfully is more likely to understand subtle cues, interpret emotions accurately, and navigate sensitive topics with tact. Younger women notice this because it creates conversations that are engaging, stimulating, and satisfying on multiple levels. They feel that their thoughts and feelings are not only acknowledged but genuinely valued, which fosters intimacy and connection. This type of communication is magnetic because it balances depth, empathy, and intelligence, creating an aura of reliability and intrigue. Respectful attention also manifests in consistency. A man who truly pays attention remembers what matters, follows up on important details, and shows that his interest is sustained rather than fleeting. Younger women find this consistency incredibly attractive because it communicates sincerity and dependability. It shows that he is not simply performing charm or pursuing momentary gratification, but rather building a connection that is grounded in authenticity and care. This reliability, paired with attentiveness, creates a magnetic pull that is difficult to resist. Understanding boundaries further enhances attraction because it signals respect for individuality. A man who recognizes and honors the limits of time, space, emotion, and personal choice communicates that he values the woman's autonomy and independence. Younger women are drawn to this because it allows them to engage freely, knowing that their decisions, feelings, and comfort are prioritized. It fosters a sense of equality and partnership, making interactions feel balanced, safe, and exciting simultaneously. Boundaries create intrigue because they demonstrate self-control and awareness, qualities that exude quiet power and magnetism. The way respectful attention and boundary awareness intersect is where real chemistry develops. A man who pays attention notices subtle cues, a hesitation in tone, a fleeting expression, a slight change in posture, and adjusts his approach accordingly. He understands when to engage, when to give space, and how to balance intensity with patience. Younger women are instinctively drawn to this adaptability because it feels intuitive, caring, and engaging. They sense that he is not just reacting to the moment, but responding thoughtfully to their needs and comfort, which deepens attraction and builds lasting interest. Attention and boundaries also influence emotional intimacy. A man who listens, observes, and honors limits allows a woman to open up gradually, fostering trust and vulnerability. He does not demand disclosure or rush emotional connection. Instead, he provides a safe space where feelings can be expressed without judgment. Younger women are naturally drawn to this because it creates a bond built on mutual respect and understanding. Emotional intimacy is magnetic because it combines trust, empathy, and authenticity, qualities that make a connection feel both exciting and secure. Respectful attention is further enhanced by curiosity and genuine interest. A man who is confident enough to be curious about another person, without judgment or expectation, creates an environment of intrigue and fascination. He asks thoughtful questions, listens intently, and remembers details, demonstrating that he values the person in front of him. Younger women find this deeply attractive because it signals that he sees them as more than just a fleeting encounter. He sees them as someone worthy of understanding and admiration. This curiosity, paired with the awareness of boundaries, creates a dynamic where attraction grows naturally, fueled by interest, respect, and emotional connection. Finally, the subtle power of respectful attention and boundary awareness lies in their ability to create a magnetic presence. A man who embodies these qualities does not need to demand admiration or perform charm. His approachability, thoughtfulness, and sensitivity naturally draw younger women in. They feel intrigued, valued, and connected in ways that feel effortless yet profound. These qualities work together to create a sense of intimacy, trust, and fascination that is rare, compelling, and deeply attractive. There is an undeniable allure in a man who carries an air of mystery. Someone who doesn't reveal everything at once and leaves just enough unsaid to spark curiosity. Mystery is magnetic because it creates a sense of intrigue and challenge, making younger women want to know more, to explore the layers that make him unique. It's not about being distant or aloof. It's about pacing the revelation of oneself with intention, creating anticipation, and leaving room for fascination to grow naturally. A man who masters this art of subtle mystery makes every interaction feel exciting, layered, and memorable, drawing others in effortlessly without having to try too hard. Subtle teasing is a natural companion to mystery. A man who teases with charm and wit engages a woman's mind as well as her emotions. This is not about being mean or hurtful, it's about playful interactions that create chemistry and laughter while maintaining respect. Teasing demonstrates confidence, humor, and the ability to read social cues, and it challenges a younger woman in a fun and engaging way. When done right, subtle teasing makes the dynamic more dynamic, exciting, and flirtatious, creating an energy that keeps the attraction alive and growing. Mystery works because it taps into human curiosity. People are naturally drawn to what they don't fully understand, what feels slightly out of reach, or what hints at depth without revealing everything. A man who doesn't lay his entire life, thoughts, or emotions bare immediately generates intrigue. Younger women are drawn to the allure of discovery, wanting to uncover the stories, experiences, and qualities that lie beneath the surface. This slow revelation builds tension, excitement, and fascination, making the connection more compelling and memorable over time. Subtle teasing enhances this effect because it creates interaction that is playful yet meaningful. A man might challenge a woman's perspective gently, make witty remarks that spark laughter, or create light-hearted tension through clever banter. This playful push and pull keeps the dynamic lively, engaging, and mentally stimulating. Younger women are drawn to men who can make them laugh while also keeping them intrigued, combining fun with intellectual and emotional stimulation in a way that feels effortless yet captivating. Mystery and teasing together demonstrate confidence. A man who doesn't need to explain himself constantly, who can joke, challenge, and hold back information selectively, communicates self-assuredness. He shows that he trusts himself and the dynamic to unfold naturally, without needing to force outcomes or seek constant validation. Younger women are instinctively attracted to this because it signals independence, strength, and control. Confidence in this form is subtle but powerful, creating a magnetic aura that draws attention and admiration effortlessly. Mystery also builds anticipation. By not revealing everything, a man allows interactions to feel like an unfolding story, one that keeps the other person engaged, curious, and emotionally invested. Each encounter, conversation, or interaction holds potential surprises, making the connection dynamic rather than predictable. Younger women are naturally drawn to this because it creates excitement and fascination, leaving them wanting to learn more, to spend more time exploring the nuances and layers of his personality. Anticipation generated through mystery deepens attraction because it transforms ordinary interactions into experiences that feel thrilling and memorable. Subtle teasing also demonstrates emotional intelligence. A man who teases effectively reads social cues, understands boundaries, and navigates humor without crossing lines. He can challenge without offending, play without belittling, and engage without overstepping. Younger women notice this balance because it feels thoughtful, intentional, and exciting. It signals that he understands both himself and others, creating chemistry that is both playful and respectful. The combination of teasing and mystery ensures that interactions are engaging, stimulating, and emotionally dynamic, strengthening the connection and enhancing attraction. Another layer of mystery is unpredictability. A man who doesn't follow predictable patterns or reveal every reaction immediately keeps interactions fresh and exciting. Younger women are drawn to this unpredictability because it challenges them mentally and emotionally, creating a sense of adventure and curiosity. He may share stories selectively, respond in unexpected ways, or reveal different aspects of his personality gradually, making each interaction unique and compelling. This unpredictability, when balanced with respect and consistency, amplifies attraction and fascination. Teasing also fosters intimacy by creating a sense of shared experience. Playful banter and light challenges build rapport, laughter, and a sense of connection. It allows both parties to engage in a dynamic that is enjoyable and mentally stimulating, strengthening emotional bonds while keeping the energy exciting. Younger women are drawn to men who can create this balance between fun and depth, making every conversation feel alive, engaging, and layered. Subtle teasing creates interaction that is memorable, enjoyable, and compelling, leaving a lasting impression long after the moment has passed. Mystery and teasing also create a sense of challenge, which is inherently attractive. People are naturally drawn to what feels slightly out of reach or requires some level of engagement to understand fully. A man who maintains this balance, revealing enough to connect while holding back just enough to intrigue, creates a dynamic that keeps younger women invested mentally, emotionally, and sometimes even physically. The sense of challenge encourages curiosity, engagement, and desire, making interactions feel exciting and rewarding. The combination of mystery and teasing also communicates self-control. A man who doesn't give everything away immediately, who can engage playfully without overexposing himself, demonstrates emotional maturity and awareness. Younger women are attracted to this because it signals balance, wisdom, and respect for the dynamic. He shows that he understands the power of pacing, timing, and subtlety, which creates a magnetic aura that draws attention and admiration naturally. Finally, the allure of mystery and subtle teasing lies in their ability to create anticipation, intrigue, and engagement simultaneously. A man who masters these qualities makes interactions feel exciting, memorable, and dynamic, leaving younger women fascinated, curious, and emotionally invested. This magnetic combination ensures that attraction is sustained, chemistry is heightened, and connections feel thrilling, dynamic, and deeply engaging.